Hi, I'm attorney Jonathan Paul and welcome to my webpage. So on this webpage, I actually have my laptop in front of me and I want to kind of walk through the process with you. So the purpose of this video is to help you fill out my Michigan DUI case application. As I state there, I only take on about 100 cases every single year. The reason why I do that is because I need to focus my time on a select number of clients because these clients simply need my attention both inside and outside the courtroom, and my resources are limited. If you're going to be one of my clients, you deserve my full attention. So I need you to tell me more about your case, tell me more about yourself, so I can better understand exactly what sort of options your case may have, more about your background, and if we're a good fit. So I'm actually going to open up my browser to MichiganDUIPlaybook.com and look at the same exact page that you're looking at right now. So when we open it up, the first thing I need to know is, what are you charged with? Are you charged with operating while intoxicated, operating while visibly impaired, if it's a super drunk or high BAC charge, if it's a second offense or third offense, or if you're charged with zero tolerance because you're under 21, or there was someone in your car that was under 16, which would be the OWI, child endangerment. The next thing I need is first name, last name. You can just put a first name. You don't need to put your last name. I need a phone number and email address in order to contact you back. The next thing I need to know is the arresting police department along with the city, township, and county of arrest. This allows me to better understand who the police department in your case was, who the potential prosecutors are, and the particular court that will be handling your case. So put that information for me. The next thing I need to know is down on the case notes and the additional case notes. So let's look at the left column first. The left column is, I'm going to treat it as if we're in a consultation right now. So we're going to sit down together and we're going to say, okay, how did you come in contact with the police? Was it a traffic stop? Was it an accident, a one-car, two-car accident? What exactly happened, and how did the police end up having a conversation with you? If they stopped you for a traffic reason, what was the reason? Was it speeding? Was it going through a red light? Defective equipment? What was that reason? If you don't know, you don't know, but we'll find out in the police report. If this was an accident case, let me know how many cars were involved, any injuries, and then eventually, when the police have that conversation with you, how does that conversation go? Did you tell them you came from a bar or drinking? How many drinks did you say you consumed? Did you discuss driving? And now, most cases, it's pretty apparent that you were probably driving in the car if the police officer is pulling you over. But in a lot of cases with an accident, you're already out of the car and no one may have seen you drive that car. So your defense may be, well, I wasn't driving in the car. And sometimes the truth may not matter. It's what the prosecutor can prove. So I want to know about that conversation you had with the police officer to allow me to know what possible defenses we may have. The next thing I need to know is field sobriety test. Did you take any field sobriety test? Did you do the walk and turn test? Did you do the alphabet or counting? What test did you take in front of a police officer? Usually police officers do about 2 or 3 different tests. I need to know exactly how you did on them, if you recall, and what the police officer may have said. The next thing I need to know is the PBT test, the preliminary breath test. What was your number? Did you take one? Did you refuse one? Did the officer tell you properly that you have the right to refuse it? And if you do refuse it, the worst thing that can happen to you is that there's a fine. It's a civil action. It's not criminal to refuse that. Now, there's going to be a big difference between the PBT and the data master test, and we're going to get into that. But with the PBT, what was the result? There's usually just one result. So the data master happens at the police station, whereas the PBT happens on the side of the road. So I need to know the number of the PBT on the side of the road. The next thing I want to know is, when you were arrested, did the police officer read you Miranda rights? Did they tell you about your chemical test rights? Did they say, well, we're going to the hospital now, or you're coming back to the police station? What was that conversation like? Next, finally, we're at the police station or at a hospital. And now, if you refuse the data master, that's very important. That means that you're at the police station, the officer said, sir, ma'am, I want you to take this test, and if you don't take this test, all these things happen to you. Did that happen in your case? Did you refuse the data master? If so, that means you probably went to a hospital, and we're not going to know what the blood result is quite yet. So put that there if you went to a hospital, and we'll figure out what the blood is at a later time. But if you are actually at the police station and you have a data master result, what are those specific results? What are those numbers? There's usually two different numbers, and the police officer should have handed you the sheet that says, 0.15, 0.14, or 0.09, 0.10. That sheet should be in front of you. Let me know what the results are. If there are things like errors, or there's things like refusals, if there's different notes on there, invalid, let me know that. It may be important. We're eventually going to review this all together, but just as a basis, kind of let me know what is in there. Next, I want to know about how long did you stay at the police station? Did you stay overnight? Did they eventually allow you to leave the police station? Put that there in the notes. The next thing I want to know, have you seen a judge yet? Have you been to court yet? Are you contacting me after being in court and being unsure about what to do, or you're not happy with your current attorney? What has gone on in your case, if anything? You may not have actually been to court yet, and that could be common. Let me know what's going on there. If you have been to court, or you know who your judge is, let me know that information so we can talk about specific judges, courts, and different important information there. The next thing I want you to discuss, and this could be on the right column where it says additional case notes, I want to know more about you, your background, when this case happened, what was going on in your life. Where are you working? What's your family makeup? Do you have a CDL, a CPL? What's unique about you that I need to know in order to evaluate your case? Do you travel domestically? Do you travel internationally? What's going on there? Also, criminal record. Do you have a criminal record? Have you been arrested for a drunk driving offense before? Anything other than a speeding ticket, I want to know about, because it may impact your case. So put that there in the additional case notes. Finally, I want to know more about your goals for this case. What are your goals? Are your goals to avoid a conviction, keep your driver's license, learn from the case? Tell me exactly what your goals are here. I want to know what your goals are to make sure that we can actually accomplish those. And we're going to discuss how we can do that, but I'm kind of curious what your goals are for this particular case. Finally, I want to make sure that you've actually gone through some of my materials, that you're aware about my proactive program and some of the demands there. Read through the DUI Vault blog. There's a lot of helpful information there. Read through the 5-star DUI defense. Get a good understanding of what my program is all about. I want to have a productive conversation. Once I review your information, I want you to be educated about some of the basic things to know about drunk driving cases. And once I receive your information, once you hit the submit your information, I'll review that and I'll get back to you either by phone or by email. We can kind of get into more details. If I think your case is a good case in my practice, we'll likely set up a meeting at my office face-to-face where we can go over things. If I think for some reason, well, your case may not be the best fit for my practice, I'd be happy to recommend another attorney that may be a great fit for you. I want to make sure that you get the help that you need in your case. So hit the submit your information. I look forward to learning more about your case and about your background and helping you ultimately with this difficult but manageable situation.